Weather and life both change quickly. Do you have a farm estate plan? You need to learn the best option to help your family avoid or minimize federal estate taxes and other costs.
I'm Brad Swenson, President of Swenson Investments and Commodities. We work confidentially with farmers, ranchers, and advisors to help develop the best farm estate plan.
During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk a little bit about how your crop can actually become a weed.
Well, we're not talking about volunteer corn or volunteer alfalfa here. What we're talking about is when you're planting a field. Let's just say, for example, you're planting corn, but this would be true with any crop out there. If you're planting corn and you've got, say in a foot, you're putting 3 seeds. Well, that seed in the middle pops up 2 or 3 days after the seeds on either side of it. All of a sudden, those seeds are 1 leaf stage, maybe even 2 leaf stages ahead of that seed in the middle. What does that seed in the middle become? Is that going to be a productive corn plant, or will it become a weed?
It'll become a weed, and here's the reason why. When plants get to a certain stage, they sense other plants in their presence, and then they're trying to do everything they can to choke out those other plants. Well, if you've got crop, the same crop, and it's planted evenly, it emerges evenly, then it just recognizes the one plant is one of the other crops. Okay, what happens is if you've got that plant that comes up a little bit later, like the corn plant in Darren's example, not only will the 2 plants beside it try to choke it out, but the smaller plant will automatically basically get choked out to some degree, and you'll very often find a small ear there. So what we want you to do on your farm is this. If you've got a cornfield out there, or like Darren said, any crop, but corn is probably the easiest to figure this out. Just go out to your field and see a point where you've got 1 plant that's pretty small right now compared to 2 plants that are on either side of it that are bigger, and then mark that exact spot and follow that through the year and just see what you get for a corn ear out there. I think you'll find it's rather dramatic when you get to fall, and that will stress to you the importance of planting your seed right and trying to get even emergence in the spring.
Well, you're not really going to fix this problem now. I mean, you're not going to do any management practice to take out that late emerging plant. What you are going to do is make adjustments to how you plant next year to make sure you don't have those issues again. First thing will be seeding depth. Maybe that 1 seed that popped up a little bit later, when you do some digging this summer, you may discover, wow, for some reason that was a 1/2 inch deeper than the seeds on either side of it. That's why it came up late. Well, there's a problem right there. Maybe you didn't clear your residue out of the way. Maybe there's something with your down pressure that needs to be adjusted. There's a lot of different things on the planter that could be adjusted to fix planting depth. Then you look at spacing. You know, there are so many different things that are going on. Maybe that seed got dropped as a double or a triple and there was a problem there. You know, all these things can be solved with your planter. Now, if you're still planting crops this year, which many of us are in the upper Midwest especially, keep those things in mind. Spend some extra time going through your planter. If you get a rainy day, go and look back through things again. Maybe there's some setting that got knocked out of whack, you know, as you're planting the first part of your crop this year. Take a look at things, go back to your fields that are already planted and check again to make sure your spacing's right, your depth is right, all those things, because it's going to amount to thousands and thousands of dollars on your farm.
The reason why we're talking about this today, whether you're a farmer or a non-farmer, is we want you to understand farming has really progressed over the years, and we're to the point now where we don't just want plants to emerge. We want them to emerge evenly. We want everything to be right in terms of the spacing like Darren's talking about. We want every plant to be great. So in the past, we didn't have the nice equipment that we had. We didn't have the technology or the know-how or anything else. So we were just trying to get plants to grow. We're trying to do so much more now because our yield goals are dramatically higher. We've got the ability to raise tremendous crop on our farms and feed the world. We just have to really focus in on not just the big picture, but getting down to the small details and making everything as good as possible.
Well, getting every seed to emerge at the same time helps with many things, including weed control. Can you identify this week's Weed of the Week?